You know, you guys, and I'm sure most of you are on the same page as me with this, but if there was one word to perfectly describe the San Francisco 49ers season up to this point, it would definitely be a roller coaster. Because from the long-awaited and anticipated debut of your new QB1 in Trey Lance, to very quickly having your hand being forced to go back to old reliable, who was also looking much better than most people would have anticipated, to the somewhat rough start you saw a little over halfway through the year, then of course there's you guys breaking the league with your blockbuster acquisition of Christian McCaffrey that has since only resulted in your squad going on an absolute tear. And yes, while the impact of adding Christian McCaffrey is very clearly being seen through his short tenure with the Niners already, believe it or not, he might not even be the craziest part that we've seen about this team over the last couple of weeks, so let's get into it. One sec though guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoy, and subscribe to never miss another NFL video. But before we get into it, today's video is brought to you by our friends at Manscaped, the top global brand for men's grooming and hygiene. They sent over a ton of stuff to me from their Performance Package 4.0, so let's check it out. To start, we have their Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer, with it being their 4th generation electric and waterproof trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology. It works to eliminate all the nicks and cuts that you're used to with other trimmers out there. And it also includes a cordless charging system with LED lights to show you how much juice you have left. And with Manscaped also sending me products that I didn't even know existed, like their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant to use after I shower, their Crop Reviver Ball Toner with cooling aloe vera, and even their Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer, they literally have you covered from head to toe. And the best part about it is that they want to cover you guys too, because if you use code Football Digest at checkout, you will receive 2 free gifts, 20% off your order, and even free international shipping. Once again, that is code Football Digest at checkout to get yourself using the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Now, to get back on topic with the San Francisco 49ers, while I don't think that there's a single fan of any NFL team that would turn down the opportunity of adding CMC to your backfield, however, if you're someone that hasn't really watched a 49er game since they acquired him, and you were to look solely at the numbers in terms of what he's doing for the team, and I mean sure, while his ground game totals haven't necessarily been eye-popping just yet, and in fact he's making more of an impact thus far through the passing game, some people just seem to be a little over-paranoid regarding if and when CMC will be used more. But honestly, aside from CMC still probably trying to learn this new offense under Kyle Shanahan that he was thrown into halfway through the year, some people just don't seem to look past the final numbers and realize that the 49ers are currently utilizing Christian McCaffrey almost as effectively as they possibly can. Because so far in San Francisco, while he does only have a little bit over 200 yards through 4 games, which would be the lowest yards per game average of his entire career, he's on the other hand putting up a very impressive 4.5 yards per carry, which just for reference is higher than some of the best running backs in the league like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. And I know while some of you will say, well, CMC isn't being used nearly as much as either of those 2 running backs you mentioned, the thing about Christian McCaffrey is that sure, while he might still be able to take on a role like these guys if they would need it from him, but again, what people need to realize is that this is not why the 49ers pulled the trigger on this. Because anytime you talk about the 49ers ground game and Kyle Shanahan's unique way of trying to pound the football, with McCaffrey arriving and rightfully so taking all of the headlines, it seems that a lot of you guys forgot about what this 49ers backfield already included in guys like Elijah Mitchell, which since he has returned from injury, and even with sharing a backfield with Christian McCaffrey now, it seems that Elijah Mitchell has been the prioritized back on the ground for this offense, which has also seemingly worked to perfection. And with how Kyle Shanahan has utilized his personnel like this, while I'm not trying to say that CMC is acting like a decoy in this offense, at some times he kind of is. Because regardless of how great he's been since joining the Niners, just his presence on the team is opening up so many possibilities for guys like Elijah and even Deebo Samuel to almost always bring a surprise to opposing teams in terms of what they are actually going to do next. And along with Christian McCaffrey, the yards per carry also showed this with these guys. But then with what we kind of already talked about regarding where CMC's impact is felt most on this team thus far, we also have the Niners passing attack. And even though it seems that some people are finally starting to become more aware of how lethal the Niners have been this year in this regard, with San Francisco being referred to as a run-first team for as long as I can possibly remember. They will never take their passing aspect as seriously as they should, because when you actually get past the narratives, watch some of the games, and even look a little into the numbers, it's not just like San Francisco has slightly improved through the air. No, they are now a borderline top 5 passing offense in this league. And it's actually kind of funny because they're doing so with what so many people consider to be an average quarterback at best, or even a better term for reference, a game manager. And regardless of what you think of Jimmy G, and the fact that this might even be one of the most efficient seasons that we've seen from him in his career thus far, people are still seeming to wonder how they're so effective through the air. And the thing about San Francisco, even after the acquisition of Christian McCaffrey, it is becoming clear that they are never going to fully lean on one area of their offense to carry them to victory, but instead they just continue to balance their attack even more with some of the most unguardable weapons in football. But then to get back to Jimmy G, which I'm assuming no one watching this video classifies him as a deep ball or gunslinger quarterback by any means, is somehow averaging, and this is not a joke, the most yards per attempt out of any starting quarterback in the NFL. So once again, people are probably wondering how, and that simply is a testimony to some of their guys like George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Aiyuk, even Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, etc., and their ability to dominate in the skill of yards after the catch. Because with San Francisco also being a top team in the league in this category, it just shows even more how much of a genius Kyle Shanahan has been this year in terms of playing into the strengths of his quarterback in Jimmy G. Because contrary to popular belief, and what San Francisco continues to do week by week being a living example of it, sometimes having a quarterback that can just hit your guys in stride, make the right read when you need him to, and most importantly, have a team built around him that is ready to succeed, isn't exactly always the worst thing in the world as some people will try to make it out to be. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, are there better quarterbacks out there than Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes, but is he a detriment to the team and the success that they've been seeing as of recently? Well, the numbers that he's been putting up would tell you absolutely not. And as mentioned, with the surprising to some higher production out of Jimmy this year, it has in turn given San Francisco a new level of dual threat ability that feels like it hasn't been here in a very long time. And with this offense still trying to consistently hit their highest level of potential that we have seen glimpses of and know they're fully capable of, and along with this, their defense also continuing to show us that they are a top team in the league on this side of the ball as well, which people are definitely not talking about enough. I'll just say that if this team ends up hitting their ceiling, they are going to be a problem for no matter who is sitting in their way. But of course, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Nonetheless though, you guys, with everything that I've mentioned already regarding the San Francisco 49ers, I of course am also extremely curious to hear what you all have to think about their situation. So as always, be sure to let me know in the comments what has been the most surprising part to you about this 49ers offense since they acquired Christian McCaffrey, and also if you had to guess, what is your prediction for the 49ers final record going into the playoffs, and how far do you see them actually making it? But again, you guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to go down below and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and of course subscribe while you're down there, because as mentioned, we're just going to continue to be coming out with brand new NFL content every single week as we slowly approach the postseason, so just trust me, you don't want to miss it. But also, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there for watching. I appreciate you all more than anything, you all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.